Imagine a high-stakes heist where the party's rogue finally stands before the inner vault. The players have spent hours scouting the museum, and everything rests on this final barrier. The player rolls a natural 20. The dungeon master immediately concedes, says the door opens, and hands over the treasure. The momentum of the entire night evaporates in seconds. When players and DMs treat a D20 roll as a binary off switch for a challenge, the fiction of the world stops mattering. Success becomes a mechanical transaction that ignores the consequences of the action, turning a living story into a series of solved math problems. A successful roll grants access to the diamond, but it also triggers the museum's silent lockdown. The goal is to move the story forward into a new, more dangerous state. Training a dungeon master to keep the world alive requires a shift in perspective. Instead of looking for ways to stop the players, the DM should be looking for diagnostic questions that force the party to react. Consider a standard stealth mission. If the DM treats a single low roll as the moment the party is caught, the heist turns into a repetitive cycle of initiative and combat. Effective DMs utilize fail states, where a missed check creates a shift in variables rather than a total mission failure. The world reacts to the player's clumsiness without ending the scene. Escalating the tension is as simple as pausing the game to say, "The guard stops in his tracks. He's squinting into the dark corner where you're hiding, his hand on his sword. What do you do?" A flashback mechanic keeps the momentum high, allowing a player to retroactively explain preparation they made earlier. The player reveals they bribed the guard captain. This solution inserts itself into the timeline, continuing the heist without a 3-hour planning session. Great heists function as dynamic puzzles. They thrive on shifting variables and resource management rather than a single player's stealth modifier. This diagnostic approach applies to magic, too. Take a crime scene where a nobleman is found fused into a stone wall, an obvious magical murder. Parties often cast Zone of Truth, expecting the magic to do the hard work of extracting a confession for them. Smart suspects beat the spell by remaining silent or providing technical truths that lead the investigators in the wrong direction. We can look at this code legal to see how a city actually protects its citizens from magic. Casting a mind-altering spell on an official is a crime, making the player's best tool a potential legal liability. In the world of arcane forensics, spells leave behind detectable residue. These magical fingerprints tell investigators exactly what happened, even if there are no witnesses. Finding a room that is suspiciously perfect, no blood, no dust, no sign of a struggle, reveals the use of a magical cleaning spell. The killer spent their final seconds casting prestidigitation to scrub the scene of physical evidence. Treating magic as forensic evidence forces players back into the role of detectives. The spell doesn't provide the answer, it provides the clue. These principles also fix broken party dynamics, like the player who insists on playing a lawful evil assassin in a group of heroes. The DM must ask a single diagnostic question to anchor the character. What is the specific motivation keeping you loyal to these people? These miniatures show a group that relies on each other to survive. An effective evil character uses their lack of morals to steal for the party, handling the illicit tasks the heroes are too noble to touch. This creates moral complexity. The evil character becomes the team's necessary edge, performing the dirty work required to reach a heroic goal. A session breaks when the game is played as a rigid math equation. It flourishes when the world is treated as a reactive, living environment. Shifting security, arcane forensics, and deep motivations transform the campaign from a series of roles into a sequence of meaningful choices. Dungeon masters facilitate the best stories by creating situations where the players must navigate choices with no obvious right answer. The thrill of the game emerges from the shared tension of 5 people navigating an unpredictable reality. That is the true magic of the tabletop experience.